Hello everybody. Today I'd like to make a video on a certain subject that recently bothered me for a while. Uh, that subject today is Operation Rainfall. If you don't know what Operation Rainfall is, well, it's technically a fan movement and created by Nintendo fans in order to convince Nintendo of America to localize 3 games that they currently have no plan and to release here for unknown reasons, which they haven't specified. And those 3 games are the last story, Xenoblade, and Pandora's Tower. So Nintendo hasn't announced any news for those 3 games at E3, and I guess Nintendo fans in America have been getting rather impatient, and the news of the 2 of those 3 games being announced for Europe kind of just made them even more impatient and more frustrated with Nintendo of America. So they decided to take things in their own hands. And what I find funny is that they've actually started to spam Nintendo's Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube in order to make their voices heard. And Nintendo is currently aware of Operation Rainfall, but their latest response to that was that they have no plans currently, which doesn't mean never, but nevertheless, that is also not a very good response to them. Those Nintendo fans are refusing to give up. So what the Nintendo fans have also decided to do was pre-order a game that they pre-ordered Xenoblade. They pre-ordered a game that currently has no plans, and it could possibly never come to North America, which I find rather interesting. And what is quite amazing is that Xenoblade is in the top 10 or top 20 most pre-ordered games on Amazon, which is quite amazing. What these Nintendo fans have also decided to do was a letter campaign, which they intend to they mail their own personal written letters to Nintendo of America on a specific day in July. I can't seem to remember. So basically their plan is to flood Nintendo's office with a bunch of mail asking or demanding for these games, which I find pretty hilarious and actually a really interesting plan. Now, what is my opinion on this? Well, as a person who was part of the Tales movement for localizing those Tales games, I can sort of understand where they're coming from. Being frustrated for not being able to play games that should be coming over here. And what amazes me even more is that those 2 games, The Last Story and Xenoblade, are already being localized for Europe. We'd be having English translations in them. Why? I don't know why Nintendo doesn't want to localize these games here. They won't be having to put so much effort into it. Since most of it's already being done. The least they can do is just bring them over to America. And I'm getting sick of people saying, "Oh, Nintendo's a business, business before a company," and how they believe that those 3 games won't sell that much. And I'm like, hey, I don't exactly believe that. I think it's BS. Nintendo is a billion-dollar company. They've sold so many Wii's to the point that they are the only company that made more profit than the other 2. And which amazes me more is that Nintendo is not going to even bother to give their consumers just these 3 games, and they're too afraid to take a risk, and they rather play it safe with their Kirby and Zelda game, which I'm not saying it's shit, or I'm not saying it's crap or anything, but nevertheless, they rely on their first-party games too much, and they basically just took a dump on third parties during the Wii's generation, which is probably why they've lost the core the market, and this is what amazes me more. Like Nintendo claiming to attract the core gamers back with the Wii U. My question is, why not start now with your current Wii gamers? Bring them back. If you like, this is probably this operation, and it's actually something that Nintendo should be feared because these fans actually have something that Nintendo wants. It's money, and if Nintendo wants that money, then they have to localize these games in order to get all those pre-order cash. So I don't know what's wrong with Nintendo. Oh, like if they want to attract the core gamers, they better do it now instead of making them angry and making them staying away from the Wii U. Like personally, I don't have a Wii, but if these 3 games would get localized, that would actually get me to try to search for a cheap Wii in order to play these games. Like, I want to see these games come to North America. Like, I'm the Nintendo of America. Like, seriously, they need to take notes from Nintendo of Europe, who like has the happiest Nintendo fans probably across the land or across the world, maybe except for Japan, but who knows. Anyway, like Nintendo, like this is probably gonna be a big hit in their rep if they decide to remain silent and just not release these games, because these Nintendo's fans are pretty determined, like, which surprises me a lot. And this is my view on this, and I hope Nintendo would release these 3 games. Like, they'll probably just ignore this. I may be just one person, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people feel the same way about Nintendo of America right now. Like, seriously, they need to get it on track and get to work. Like, they're losing their core fan base, and if they can't even support their current Wii system, I don't see how they can support the Wii U. Even if you say they have third-party support, like that, how long can that last if you're not gonna even bother to put the effort? Like a lot of people say that a lot of people jump on the 3DS bandwagon right now. Now it's quiet, like it's basically relying on first-party games and first-party remix from 10-year-old games to hold it back. Mostly, like Nintendo, like I used to love you guys so much, but now I really don't know anymore. But that's a good thing I have another console, which is the PS3 as well. Well, it's always a good idea to have more than one console, because if one company doesn't support their gamers, then you go to the other one. And I think Nintendo should be aware of this, because this is probably not a good thing for them. Well, that's my opinion on Operation Rainfall. If you want your voice heard, go to Nintendo, spam their Facebook, spam their Twitter, spam their YouTube, send them a mail, call them, like, do whatever you have to do to get your voice heard. See you guys.